Hello, loves. I am here with your weekly pick a card reading. If you don't know how this works, I've got 3 sets of cards here. Take a moment, see which set of cards jumps out at you or speaks to you the most. Try not to overthink it, and then I will turn them over and we'll see what the messages are. This week we have a little Star Wars theme, despite the fact that I don't know anything about Star Wars. Set number 1 is represented by this guy. I don't know any of the new characters. Set number 2 is the very low budget wannabe Lieutenant Commander Data, aka C-3PO. And set number 3 is Chewbacca in glasses. You may be attracted to more than one set or all 3. That is totally fine. You might just need like some extra messages this week. So again, don't overthink it, just whatever really calls to you. I'm using the messages from your animal spirit guides, Oracle, my Crow Tarot, and then we got blurry, the Hanson-Roberts Deck. All right, so we're going to get started with set number 1. All right, well, represented by Star Wars dude with a Star Wars gun. I don't know any of the new characters. All right, so we've got Platypus. 6 of Swords in reverse. The Emperor in reverse. Wow. Okay. Once again, my tripod is still being held hostage. King of Cups. So it is again another cell phone in the hand video, but my tripod's being used for a good cause right now. All right, so right off the bat, I'm gonna talk about this Platypus card. The message on the card says, stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life, which, like, I get it, but it's a little harsh, because sometimes things are really, really crappy, so it's hard to focus on the good things. But, if you can take a moment to think of, something, no matter how insignificant, that does brighten your day a little bit, it's always a good thing. When I do these cards that have like little blurbs on them, I'm more interested actually in the animal itself than the word. So I will read it off, but I don't always acknowledge that message. And, the platypus for me is a creature that can go with the flow. They're water animals. And they're also, land animals as well. They're mammals. So they're able to go with the flow in the water as well as, stick around on the earth and stay grounded. So it's a nice balance of, not being so rigid, yet you're still, you still got like one leg on the ground, and you're allowing yourself to be practical. They're also funny little dudes. They're mammals with duckbills and they lay eggs. And I think they're very, very transitional energy. Very, very nice energy. And then we've got the 6 of Swords, Emperor in reverse, and the King of Cups. Now, I have like mixed messages coming out here because I think for some of you, this Emperor in reverse is somebody else. And then for a lot of you, this Emperor in reverse is you, and your message is to please turn into this King of Cups. There's a little bit of a call out here with this, but the Emperor in reverse, for some of you, I think that you're dealing with a person that's like very overbearing, and they may have good intentions along with this, but that doesn't really matter because the way that they're presenting themselves to you is very aggressive, so rather than being assertive, which is what the Emperor should be, they're being aggressive, which is, not a good way to get a message across. And so the message for you is to speak up and say, hey, it's not okay for you to deal with me like this. It's not okay for you to talk to me like this. And it's not okay for you to crush what I'm doing because you don't think I'm doing it right. Because with the Emperor in reverse too, there's also a sense of that insecurity and that lack of self-confidence. And when you're insecure and you're not confident, you tend to be over controlling. You can even be like so controlling when you don't have things in control, when you're not focused enough. So you tend to like be over controlling with minute details that don't actually matter. So for some of you, this is like perfectionist tendencies, because you're kind of feeling stuck. And you're feeling like you can't go with the flow, and things aren't working out to your plan, according to your plan. So it's got you in this like stuck frame of mind, and as a result, you're getting a little bit, you're losing that assertiveness, and it's coming out a little more aggressive, and you're being, that overwhelming feeling that you have is coming out as over controlling. And it's saying to you here, like, it's like, dude, lighten up, think about, take a breath, take a step back, look at everything that's going on right now. Are there things that you can't control? Okay, let's acknowledge that there are things that might be out of bounds or out of reach for you right now, and let's shelve that. Not running away from it. We're not lacking acknowledgement of it. We're just, kind of putting that aside. And then we're looking at things that we can control. And one of the things that we can control is our response to situations. Now, so this is this little King of Cups. And every time I get him, I like to point out that he's got this cute little tie. I love this little bird here. You see, there's like a swirly ocean around him. It looks kind of, stormy. And, but he's just like standing there like, yo, dude, I'm the King of Cups. It's all cool. It's fine, because he's got some very measured emotions. He is strong. He is in touch with his emotions. He's in touch with like his inner wisdom, and people listen to him because, yeah, he's a tough bird, but he's not an asshole about it. Whereas this Emperor in reverse energy is like, I'm a tough bird. I know what I'm doing, but I'm going to be a dick about it. So people don't want to listen to that, So it's encouraging you, and this is coming out harsh, but it's encouraging you to, again, step back. Think about, like, am I getting a little bit overwhelmed, and am I overwhelming people in the process because I feel out of control? Am I not handling things as effectively? Where is my self-confidence? Where is my security, right now? And am I trusting my gut? And I say this like every week too, like, be in touch with the fact that you are awesome. This overall, you are, amazing, and you've got great plans, and you're doing good work, and give yourself credit for that. And, things may have been eroding your confidence, and it could have been this Emperor energy, this Emperor in reverse energy saying like, well, you can't do that. It's not going to work out. Your plans are stupid. I know a better way, or so-and-so knows a better way. So that could have been like eating at your confidence, which then leads into like that perfectionist tendency, because you're overcompensating now for, things that are out of your control. So this little King of Cups comes by and is like, okay, let's just step back. Let's breathe. Let's, focus where we can. Let's control what we can. Let's get our emotions back in check. Let's remember why we're doing everything in the first place, and it's not because you're, trying to like, be a dick, or you're not trying to like control people. You have good reasons for why you're doing what you're doing. And, people want to listen to you. People want to be inspired by you. So get back in touch with that. Feel your confidence, feel your security, and believe in yourself, as much as you can. And again, take, some of this advice too, think about things that you have been blessed with so far and take it from there. We're not running away from the bad feelings. We're not running away from, our interactions with bad people, but we're saying you're not going to have that much control over me anymore. You're not going to let that kind of energy take your light away from you, because you can be stable, you can be firm, that's your true nature. So let's move ourselves back in touch with that and move on from there. And then, once you're feeling, that confidence again, once you're back into connection with like your own inner wisdom, you're going to upright this Six of Swords, this like stuck energy, this feeling of going nowhere. You're going to upright it, and, you're going to move away from the bullshit into something, brighter and calmer. But so a little bit of a call out. a little rough, but in a good way. It's like you have a lot of power, and it's good to feel your power. Acknowledge your power, feel it, just in a very measured and kind way. And if people are giving you shit and are trying to take your power away from them, you don't need to, you don't need to deal with that. You can just say to them, you know what, I'm not going to let you turn me into you. I'm not going to let you use your aggressive energy to make me aggressive. I'm not going to bring that on to myself. So it's like, not your circus, not your monkeys. I say that, I think, every week, but you're feeling your own power and not letting others pull it away from you. All right, set number 2, low budget data, C3PO. Sorry guys, I am a Star Trek girl. So why did I pick Star Wars things? Because they were there. All right, tortoise. Nice. 5 of Cups. Wow, that goes right with that little message right there. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. Not surprising. 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay. All right, you're moving on from some crap. That's good. That's good. We just got to keep moving. All right, so the blurb on this tortoise card says, you are too fragmented. So do whatever it takes to get grounded. And actually, that does tie in with this energy here, this 5 of Cups, this 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And the tortoise is very stable energy. And, you think about the story of the tortoise and the hare and the old saying that slow and steady wins the race. And you want to keep that in mind, because it's very frantic, hectic energy going on with this 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And a lot of you picked set number 2. And I think it's because the time of year, it's the holidays. So we're all worried about, getting everything done right, making sure that we've got our presents on time, or that we're, family dinners are organized and arranged, and you've got to deal with people that maybe you don't want to deal with, or old wounds come up this time of year as well. We tend to get sentimental, or the fact that we're around so many people brings up like a lot of old emotions. We're dealing with the elf on the shelf, we're dealing with the mensch on the bench, we're dealing with making sure our home decor is Instagram worthy and whatnot. So there's this time of year, people tend to put a lot of pressure on themselves, both within their relationships, with work, trying to get everything done, and with finances as well. And I want to point out really quick too, with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, keep an eye on your finances. Just be very smart about it. Don't make any impulse buys. Make sure you're checking your accounts daily, and that you're keeping an eye on things, and that you're just being very wise about your finances, and you're not turning a blind eye to anything that's going on. But I think, there's a lot of like meh feelings. Like you're just like, I'm over it. I'm done. Like you've gotten so overwhelmed because, again, the time of year, you've just been so overwhelmed because of situations going on in your life. You've been working hard. You may feel overworked and exhausted and overcommitted, so it just has you like, I don't remember why I'm doing things. Like, I don't remember what my passion is. So, and that's this 5 of Cups. He's like, oh, I got these beautiful cups behind me. I got this beautiful castle and this lovely, river behind me. But I'm just, look at, I spilled these ones. And oh my God, they're all over the place, So it's like that, not really seeing what you have, the good things that you have, because you're focused on, all this shit that's got to get done, or all this stuff that happened. Like, I don't, it feels horrible. Like all these emotions spilled out, I have all these things to think out. And look, now I have a mess that I have to clean up. So I don't want to deal with it. So you're not seeing, these other lovely things behind you. And, and this energy is like pulled into it. This is like that overcommitted, overworked, and sometimes when you get overworked, you're working hard on something and you've got all these plans and whatnot, you tend to like lose sight of the details. You might lose your focus, or you get so hyper focused on one thing that you neglect that you actually had to do like 3 other things as part of it, so things get a little bit messy and complicated. So this is like taking a step back and breathing, much like I said to the people in the first reading, taking a step back and kind of like refocusing your energy. And with this 3 of Swords, and I'm going to hold this up with you, for you because of the glare. I always look at this and I see the pommel. This is the pommel. God, I can never remember the difference between the pommel and the hilt, and I should know because I dance with a sword. So I think it's the pommel, but it looks a lot more stable this way than it does this way. But the Three of Swords in reverse is a nice card to have. You're coming out of some crap. You're really working on yourself internally, and you're deciding that, okay, I've got hurt, I've got pain, I feel overwhelmed, things haven't worked out in the past, but I'm going to move forward. I'm going to release that. And you're coming out of like that pain. So I think there's this message here. There is this message here to really reconnect with yourself, and take a moment out for yourself to remember to remember the true meaning of things for yourself, to remember what your passions are, what you're working for, who you're working for, and get yourself grounded. And that could be like saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to go to the mall today. I'm actually going to go to the park. I'm going to take a run, or I'm going to take a walk, or even just stand outside on your front step for 5 minutes and let yourself breathe in some fresh air, maybe get some sunshine, or unless you live where I live and it's just cloudy all the time this time of year, but at least you're getting the fresh air. You're getting a little extra brightness from outside, and you're just breathing in, and you're taking a moment for yourself to just step away and just kind of recollecting your thoughts, recollecting your emotions, and thinking about, okay, what do I really want? How do I really want to proceed? What has true meaning to me, and how am I going to work on that? But overall, so again, it's like the first group had a little bit of a call out, and that's here too. It's just trying to rework things so that you're not so frazzled emotionally as well as physically and mentally, just trying to rework it and get yourself grounded, get yourself back into like a little bit more of an even headspace, so that, you're feeling better and you're not feeling so meh and blah, and so that you can turn around and be like, oh, wow, look at those cups. I forgot about those, so work in progress, but you're doing good, okay? You are working, you are doing good, and, give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself credit for what you have done so far. And then, goodbye, low budget data. And we have set number 3, which is little Chewbacca in his glasses. And we've got chimpanzee. Page of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. Okay. And 4 of Wands. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think you got to rely on your people. All right. I'm going to go with first, let me read this blurb for you. It says, use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your questions. So that's, very good advice. Keep things balanced. You don't want to overthink things. You also want to be in touch with your intuition. But, sometimes our intuition is not enough. Sometimes we have to look at things, very practically and, very intellectually. So it's good to have those things balanced. I'm going to do the 5 of Pentacles first, because a lot of people are afraid of this card because, it gets whittled down to its basics, and everyone's like, oh God, that's a card of financial hardship. And yeah, that's part of it. There could be financial hardship for you right now, but it's temporary. But this is a card of feeling isolated. This is feeling alone, abandoned, feeling that hardship. You've struggled, and you've been struggling for a while, thinking, maybe I have to do this all by myself, or I can't rely on anybody, or I'm afraid to speak up and ask. You're down here on your own, just like, trudging through this swampy, stormy weather, and you've got these 3 guys up here that are all like, oh, we've got our pentacles and everything's so bright. And it's not that they want to turn their back on you. They might not know how much you're struggling, or maybe they have an idea, but they don't want to embarrass you by asking, and the message with the 5 of Pentacles that I'm getting here is like, speak up and rely on people. And that's on this whole spread. Chimpanzees are amazing animals. They are intelligent, they are funny, they are resourceful. And sometimes you have to be resourceful to solve your problem, but chimpanzees are also community animals. I mean, they are big time community animals. They hang out with all their little chimpanzee friends. They've got family units. They have very, very complex social structures, but they're not really solitary animals. They enjoy hanging out with other chimpanzees. They're a good symbol of community, friendship, and family. And then there's that problem-solving aspect, and that's where the Page of Pentacles comes in as well, because this is reconnecting to your intellect as well. The Page of Pentacles is, that sort of like this youthful energy, wide-eyed, really believing that things are going to work out and having a trust and faith in your own sense of resourcefulness and your own abilities, your own knowledge and whatnot. Like, dude, I got this. I can make this work out. Okay, this Five of Pentacles stuff kind of sucks right now, but I'm going to, bank on my resources, and I'm going to reconnect with my passions and reconnect with my intellect, and, maybe work on, hone some skills and work on learning new things so that, I can kind of rise up out of this. But it's not alone. You're going to be, I think, you need to reach out to your community. You need to be honest with your friends. Be honest with your family about what's been going on. Be honest about your struggles, and don't be afraid to reach out and say, I need help. If you are struggling financially, there's no shame in looking towards assistance programs, whether you have to seek out assistance from your county, or if you have to go to a church or an organization, or even friends or family members. Don't be afraid to reach out, because the support is there for you, and that's what I'm seeing with this Four of Wands. The Four of Wands can be a celebration card. Often it's linked to marriages and births and baptisms and celebrations and parties and whatnot. And, that is there. This is great energy to have in your reading, especially coming up with this Five of Pentacles, because it is letting you know that this shit is temporary. You've got resources available to you in the form of your own abilities, your own mind and your own strengths, but as well as your community. And that's what I'm seeing the most with this Four of Wands is community, is people that are willing to lift you up. So allow yourself to reach out and ask. And finally, with this card, when I look at this version of the Four of Wands, for whatever reason, it reminds me of an Advent wreath. And it also reminds me of blooming, because it looks like these flowers are blooming out of the wands. And I feel that you are going to be blooming soon. But in respect to it looking like an Advent wreath, for a lot of people, Advent, this Christmas time is symbolic of waiting. It's in my religion, it's waiting for baby Jesus to be born, that waiting for a promise, so it's like this little promise that, yeah, things are crappy right now, but with your resourcefulness and with, working with your community, you're going to be blooming. That promise is there. That bright side is there. There's a celebration to be had very soon. Just realize that you're not alone. You don't have to be alone, and it's okay to reach out. It's okay to speak up. It's okay to ask for help. And, that is like the big thing that I have right here. It's okay. One of the bravest things that you can do, one of the most courageous things you can ever do is say, I need help. So please don't be afraid to do that, and please just hold on to the hope that, things will be looking up for you. Okay? All right. So there we have it for this week. So I hope everybody enjoyed their readings. I hope that they resonated for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am more than happy to answer anything or to clarify anything for you. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for all of you guys, and I hope you have an absolutely beautiful week. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.